Donald Trump. Thick fog forces U.S. President to abandon surprise visit to Korean DMZ. A surprise visit by United States President Donald Trump to the heavily fortified Korean Demilitarized Zone (DMZ) has been thwarted by bad weather. Key points: helicopter flew most of the way to the DMZ before visibility got too low. Mr. Trump is said to have been pretty frustrated at having to turn back. The White House had earlier said the DMZ visit would be a little bit of a cliché. The aborted trip came a day after Mr. Trump modulated his aggressive rhetoric and urged North Korea to come to the negotiating table. Mr. Trump had been scheduled to make the unannounced early morning trip to the DMZ amid heightened tensions between the U.S. and North Korea over Pyongyang's nuclear program. Marine One left Seoul at daybreak and flew most of the way to the DMZ, but was forced to turn back due to poor weather conditions. Weather reports from near the heavily fortified border showed misting conditions and visibility below 2 kilometers. Pilots could not see the other helicopters in the air, according to White House officials. White House Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders said the president was disappointed he could not make the trip. "I think he's pretty frustrated," she told reporters traveling with the president. She said the military and the U.S. Secret Service had deemed that landing would not be safe. Mr. Trump had been scheduled to make the visit with South Korean President Moon Jae-in, who traveled separately and landed about a 20-minute drive from the DMZ. A White House official had earlier ruled out the DMZ trip for Mr. Trump, claiming the president did not have time on his schedule and that DMZ visits have become a little bit of a cliché. But Ms. Huckabee Sanders said the visit had been planned well before Mr. Trump's departure for Asia. She said the trip was kept secret for security reasons. Mr. Trump was scheduled to address the South Korean National Assembly before closing out his 2-day visit to the nation and moving on to his next stop in Beijing. Visiting the border that has separated the North and South for 64 years has become something of a ritual for U.S. presidents trying to demonstrate their resolve against North Korea's ever-escalating aggression. Every American president since Ronald Reagan, save for George H. Bush, has made the trip, peering across the barren North through binoculars, hearing broadcast propaganda, and reaffirming their commitment to standing with the South. The attempted visit was scheduled for a day after Mr.